Welcome to Latino Talk TV. I'm your host, Jose Luis Jimenez. I want to welcome you and say Merry Christmas to everybody out there in TV land, especially here in Houston, Texas. We have a very special opening tonight with our good friend, Ms. Rita Ochoa. Welcome, Rita.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, she is actually the winner of Estrella Latina.
Yes.
Houston. It was a great competition that was done here between a bunch of local artists, but the best prevailed. They were all great, but Rita was special. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to hand her over the microphone, and she's going to sing you live two very special songs for your entertainment. So, Rita, here you go.
Thank you very much. And a Merry Christmas to everybody watching. Seems like we have some technical difficulties, but I'm just very happy to be here. I'm very, very happy to be on the show. It was an honor whenever I was asked to be on the show, and I think we have the music going. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year, all our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Ooh. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year, all your troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in golden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, yourself a very merry Christmas now. Thank you.
So we're going to take a real quick break right now, and you're watching Latino Talk TV. We'll be right back, okay?
We give her a little rest.
All right.
So we're going to come back.
Welcome back. You're still watching Latino Talk TV. I hope you enjoyed that introduction. I tell you what, I'm sitting here in the background just mesmerized by her voice. I had a great time listening to her. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. That way you can get an idea of what we're going to talk about, which is helping the community, especially right now in the Christmas season, in the holiday season, whatever you choose to celebrate. The biggest thing that we have to get is that we as a community are the only ones that have to take the responsibility to help others. And if we don't do that ourselves, no one else is going to do it for us. We can't sit here and expect them to do it for us. We have to take control and do it ourselves. So our very first guest at the show is, we're going to start on the left-hand side, is Ms. Rita Ochoa. Welcome.
Hi, thank you very much for having me. I'm here representing Estrella Latina 2013, so I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
I'm her proud husband, Chris Ochoa. And Rita's being very modest. She sang wonderfully. Very proud of her that she won Estrella Latina 2013. Just to let you guys know, it was a studio setting quite like this. And I would be there just kind of being her #1 fan. And whenever there would be breaks in the music, I'd go, woo! Get everybody to, clap and everything. But I'm very proud of her. I also represent National Hispanic Professional Organization.
Welcome.
And I'm Rita Farias, the Executive Director for American Latino Center for Research, Education, and Justice. And I'm very proud of Rita also, and I'm very honored that you have my name.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've been working on some Christmas projects, and so I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really excited about the programs you guys are doing. I'm very, very excited. On this side?
I'm Richard Farias. I'm the President and CEO of American Latino Center for Research, Education, and Justice, otherwise known as LCRAE. And we want to be here, and we certainly want to congratulate Rita as well. But we're also very happy to talk about the original Best Christmas Ever project that just took place this past Saturday.
Awesome. We're looking forward to the details. And here?
My name is Alan Gallegos, and I'm here representing NHPOLI, Golden Hearts, and pretty much a lot of the organizations that are going on about. As you said, we're trying to, promote ourselves and try to help out our fellow man.
Awesome. And for those of you out there, my good friend here, Alan, is so dedicated to the community that all of us here see him everywhere. It's like, man, I can't keep up with him, and especially with all the hard work that he does. I'm being serious. It's like every time I know there's an event going on, you're there. And that type of dedication, and early.
Always early.
True. I get in trouble for being late to my. I'll leave that one alone.
He was at ours. He was at ours this past Saturday.
See?
Yeah.
And that type of dedication, you can't compete with, because sometimes you sit back and you're like, oh, I'm feel tired, and all these excuses, right? And then at the end of the day, you see people like Adan who's just there and just gives back. So for that, thank you. So let's get started. Let's talk about the important projects. We'll start right here with the OCREG first, and tell us about the event, and we can kind of see how we can help out. What do you want the community to do?
The original Best Christmas Ever is all about the community. And this past Saturday at Talento Bilingüe de Houston, we held, I think it's our 9th event. For the last 9 years, we've been having it. And this year it was at TBH. Javier and Pat Perez were just tremendous hostess and host for the event, and they really helped us out a whole lot. But equally important, U.S. Foods, one of the large corporations and major sponsor of the event, provided all the food for more than 400 people on Saturday. We had about 250 kids and about 150 volunteers. It was an awesome event. It was full. The fire marshal, we might have gotten in trouble with him. I don't know. But we came close. And the whole event was really just tremendous. Every child was sponsored by an individual from the community. And every child got at least a shirt or a blouse, skirt or pants, pair of shoes, and an age-appropriate gift such as cologne or a watch or something similar to that. Mm-hmm. And so every kid walked home with at least 4 gifts. And the really beautiful thing about it was some kids didn't open their gifts that day because those were going to be the only gifts they were going to have under their Christmas tree. So we gladly, of course, told them, take them home and open them Christmas Day. But we had plenty of food. We had a carnival-type atmosphere in one of the rooms there at TBH. And they played all kinds of carnival games and won prizes on top of the gifts that they were already receiving. They had hot dogs and Coney Islands and Frito pies and what else did they have?
I'm getting hungry just here.
Right?
I just had the Frito pie. I don't know.
They had burritos, of course. That's what it was. That is what I was thinking about. So it was great, and it went for 4 hours, from 10 until 2, and it actually lasted almost till 3 o'clock.
Wow.
And there was music, and there were performances on the stage, beautifully done by some kids, and then one by a Miss Williams that came and sang beautifully also. I wish I had known about you, Rita. As a matter of fact, now that we do, I want to commit you to next year, okay?
There you go.
Because this is an annual event, and it's going to keep happening, and hopefully we'll continue to grow it. It started out with 100 kids, then it went to 150. Then this past year, we committed to 300 kids.
Wow.
And we almost got there. We were at about 260. Some kids, because of the weather, was real bad, so some kids weren't able to make it. But it truly was awesome. And Rita knows a little more about the sponsors that we worked with.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we can, go ahead and give us your website and the phone number.
Sure.
That way our viewers can know when and how to reach you.
Yeah, absolutely. Our website is www.alcrej.org.
Okay.
alcrej.org.
Okay.
And this is definitely going to happen again next year. And we count on the community. And you said it earlier, we have to take care of our kids. Many of our kids that we served this past Saturday live in a trailer park. Some of them came from Children's Protective Services. Some of them were in emergency shelters. Other kids were in foster homes. And we had about 100 kids out of this trailer park out in Northwest Houston. So we're taking kids from all over the city, and actually some of them outside the city in Harris County that came to this event. A lot of kids from the East End also came. So we're real pleased to really represent a good cross of the community from one end to the other, and we depend on our own community because we have, gracias a Dios, a lot of very well-to-do Latinos, and unfortunately, too many that are not doing very well, and so those are the kids we reach out for. El Craig's committed to reaching out to those kids that need the most help and the families that need the most help. And then with all this, we also focus a lot on education. And so that's probably for another city, but education is the primary thing that El Craig works for, and making sure that every child gets into college, graduates from high school and gets into college. And right now, too many of our kids are not even graduating from high school, much less getting to college. And once they get into college, they're not graduating from there. So we really need the whole community to come together and really continue to work with these kids and support these kids as they grow, and not wait till the last minute and try to fix a problem that's been there for years.
Okay.
So we really need to start much earlier.
So tell me about your experience at the event, and we're going to go on this side. Alan?
It was a wonderful event. It was a bit of a surprise seeing how many children out there. Well, then again, we see on the news all the time how kids are. We just see them on TV, but when you see them in person, just their amazement and excitement of them being able to get Christmas. They were also all visited by old Saint Nick and his wife, and it was just awe-inspiring. Sometimes you sometimes take it for granted, the fact that we all have plenty. And for them knowing that they, like you said, they kept their gifts wrapped up, and for them not to open them until then, just for them to have that feeling of, of that Christmas joy of, waking up and opening those presents is just, I don't know, sometimes you just sit back and just are amazed of how the little simple things are the ones that the kids really appreciate the most.
So if you can talk to someone directly out there, what would you tell them to get involved? Why should they get involved?
The thing is, people should get involved, not necessarily just during the holidays. That's the biggest thing, is people think, oh, okay, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, oh, let's give back to the community. And honestly, the needs of others, it's year-round. There's no specific date, everybody, we need to give everybody. It's just the fact that if we need to give a bit of our time in order to help people out. And like I said, it's not just necessarily Christmas or Thanksgiving or 4th of July or any kind of event. It's year-round, 365 days a year.
And Rita and Chris, what kind of a lot of people say, well, give back, but what do you get from being so active in the community?
I think if I can go, but I think it's something far more than words can even describe. I think it's something more profound that lifts up the spirit. It's such a beautiful thing. My husband and I have always been very, very involved. This year, because of Estrella Latina and we were moving, it was just really, really hectic for us. But we've always done a Christmas kindness dinner, and it's just the hours that you put in are exhausting. But what you get out of it is indescribable. Like the families and the testimonies, and it is exactly what the reason for the season is, the sacrifice, the being able to sacrifice yourself to see others and give them that opportunity for hope for the new year. So it's such a beautiful, beautiful feeling, and I absolutely love inspiring and giving back to the community. So it's great.
Yeah, definitely. We we weren't able to do the Christmas kindness dinner this year. But we've been going on about 5 years that we've had this dinner, which basically, simply put, we had counselors at an elementary school in HISD that we've worked with, Whittier Elementary, and they hand-selected students that they felt were in need, and a lot of these students would have telltale signs that they needed something. They would be wearing the same shirt or wearing the same pants, every day. And we would interview these families, and we would get gifts not just for the students but also for the family members. And it's just so humbling to see the wish lists from all of these families. And you would think that the first thing on these lists would be the new Xboxes or the new PlayStation 3s. No, it was underwear, it was socks, T-shirts, Pampers, simple items that when you're reading this list, you're like, wow, you know, we take for granted so much for what we have and how much God has blessed us, that it's His will pretty much to go out there and also bless others. So we weren't able to do that this year, but we did have that cancer event, Jace's cancer event, if you'd like to talk about that.
Yeah, it was the Golden Hearts event, and I believe Ms. Gallegos might be on her way, but she coordinated with Jerry Carrillo, a comedian, and they do cancer. The Golden Hearts, the purpose of Golden Hearts is to promote childhood cancer awareness, on it being the #1 killer of children in America. And we have this little boy, Jace, and he's 2 years old, and he had finished with it when we had the event. It was a comedy event, so it was wonderful, especially because it was Christmas too, and they had all these local comedians, and it was super funny. But on top of that, we were able to help raise money for this little boy who just finished his second round of chemo, also full body radiations at 2 years old. And just this last Friday, we're all wearing Jace's shirts, and we were posting it on his Jace's Superhero page, which is on Facebook. And he finished his bone marrow transplant. So we're just kind of waiting to see how well he takes to that. So that's also a beautiful thing, you know, to be able to help a family that way, even in just support, like even of those people that couldn't give, just words of encouragement, because as you can imagine, have a mother and father, you know, kind of be waiting to see if that's going to take. So it was wonderful.
So, Rita, how does someone get out of their daily routine? Because, you know, when we talk about this, it's like, this is the emotional moving part, right? But once the Christmas season is over and January rolls around, it's, you know, eyes down and everybody gets back into the grind, and then they look up again in November, right? Or they take a quick break and see, oh, the summer's here, let me take a quick vacation, head down again, and then Christmas is here again. How does someone stop?
You don't. You don't. These families, they become a part of who you are, and they're reaching out to you all the time. So it's like, we had Easter not too long ago, and I'm like, now I can breathe. And then the next thing you know, you're doing Christmas. I do want to recognize the special Madres de Madres, Ana Lopez. In memory of Ana Lopez, I really want to thank them for their contribution, because an event this big, it just takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort. And so I would just be praying, God, where's the money going to come from? You know, we get extra kids, and the phone would ring, and a check would arrive. So people are generous. People do want to help, and they want to give. And some of the kids were not able to come. A lot of them came from a trailer park. And so we had some gifts left. And so I noticed that one on our list, it was a single mother, and she had a little boy and a little girl. And so the presents were right there. And so I called her. And another reason, many of you know Mary Klausner, how she, and she bought a dress for a little girl that would be what Mary Klausner would wear when she was a baby, real gold and shiny. And so I really wanted a picture of the little girl that was receiving the dress. So I went and tracked her down, and I found her. And the little boy, he's 10, and he was like devastated because he wanted to go to the party. He had signed up. He was going to go. It was raining that day. The little girl was sick, and so he couldn't go. So we show up with a big bag, and his eyes were just like lit. You know, it was like God answered his prayers too. That it's amazing. It's a labor of love. I cried the entire day we were there. I don't know if you noticed her, but I was just like crying because everything that could go wrong was going wrong. But everybody told me that they didn't notice, but I noticed, you know, what was going on. It's just a lot of work, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it just to see those kids, you know, that's the only present they have, and their parents, they're so thankful because they can't afford to give their kids a gift.
So what can, you know, we're about to go into a quick break. What can a person do that's watching the show right now that still wants to help out? What can they do right now?
Go to our website. It's not posted yet, but I'll post it here in the next couple of days. Go to Best Christmas Ever, see the events that we've done, and if you have time or if you want to donate some money or have time, we take volunteers. We've gotten a lot of really good people helping us out, so just give us a call and see where you would like to help.
And the phone number is?
713-208-0724, or 832-473-2005.
Say it one more time.
713-208-0724 or 832-473-2005.
Let me add just one more thing about that because it's really important that people understand. LCRAE, as a nonprofit organization in the community, we work 24/7, 365. And so right away, during the month of January, we're actually going to start working towards the next Christmas. We're going to be working for the next Easter, and we're going to be working for Thanksgiving. So all these special holidays, are come by like that. And so we need somebody, the nonprofit organizations that are around, that are in fact putting on these kind of special events. It's really important for people to jump on board early on because we will start working in January for next year's Christmas, and that is the biggest event of all, without question. And people, we need volunteers to help raise money, to commit to sponsoring a child, and to start working with a committee for those that have that kind of time. Initially, we'll probably start meeting once a month, then as it gets closer, twice a month, and then ultimately we meet weekly. And then at the very end, we actually meet 2 or 3 times a week. So depending on where we are. And because our plan is to not lessen the number, but increase the number. So we had 250 this year. We're going to shoot for 400 for next year. And so that's why we're going to start earlier. And we want sponsors, anybody from the community that cares. They don't necessarily have to sponsor a child, but they can have, everybody has contacts. And with all the successful Latinos that we have, like NHPO came through big time this year as well. We had a lot of the folks from NHPO that sponsored a child. And so that organization came through for us, but there's a lot of individuals out there that are not part of an HPO, that are not with any particular organization necessarily, but that want to give back. And those are the people that need to join us, not just send money, but join us because it is a human effort. It's more than just the money. It's more just the gifts. It's about seeing the smiles on those kids' faces when they get those little gifts. And the family, many times we're addressing the needs of the family, not just that one child.
Absolutely.
And many of these families are in the Latino community, as you know, have 5 or 6 kids.
Yep.
Some of them even more. So it's really, really hard on a lot of these folks. And so we want to start early. We want to invite the community to be a part of this tremendous effort. And we welcome anybody that wants to be a part of it.
Awesome. So if you're watching the show right now and ever in your life you received any kind of assistance from anywhere, because we all may have come from different backgrounds and we all have had help, especially growing up in Houston, there's been a lot of people that continue just to give back. So if you've ever received anything in consideration from a free gift to, free and reduced lunch to free office supplies or school supplies or anything like that, and you're now in a much better place, it's your time to give back. It's time to open up that wallet and consider giving those $5 to a school or to an organization like LCRAE or to NHPO so they can help the next generation instead of buying that Starbucks. Just think about it, Think about not spending on yourself for one time and giving to another person. You'll make 10 times more of an impact. It is easier said than done sometimes, but one time is well worth it. So on that note, we're going to say thank you so much to our guests for joining us on this segment of the show. We're going to take a quick break right now. We're going to bring in our next guest, the 429 Surf Team. You're watching Latino Talk TV. We'll be right back.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Come on, Santa. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Feliz Navidad.
We want to wish everybody out there in the Houston community a very Merry Christmas. We love you guys.
Merry Christmas Eve.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Woo! Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year.
TV, that was as smooth as silk, right? How did you like Santa Claus singing? You liked it? All right, that's my boy back there. You're watching the show too. So we're now back with another set of guests that we're going to talk about another organization that's really giving back to the community. And we want to get into detail over what they're doing. It's the 429 Serve Team.
That's correct.
And we're going to let them introduce themselves right now, and then we're going to go right into the organization and see what they're doing and how you can help to make sure that they can really help the community. So, Stacy, go ahead.
My name is Stacy Lindsay, and I'm one of the co-leaders of the 429 Serve Team.
My name's JC Castillo, and I'm a social leader.
Hi, my name is Candice Castillo, and I'm the facilitator for media.
Hi, I'm Kathy Artiga, and I'm one of the social leaders.
No timeout right now. I got my microphone full on. Hold on a second.
Okay, I guess I'll start with the first question. As far as what exactly is the Serve Team, as some people out there that don't know?
Okay. Well, the Serve Team is the mission arm for the 429. The 429 is the church that we congregate, and its mission is to go out and really be the hands and feet of Jesus. Go out into the community, share the love of Christ, to be able to feed and clothe the hungry and the less fortunate, to really share the love of Christ and to try to uplift our community.
And so how did y'all get involved in the organization? I mean, was it from the church, or what makes this organization even more special?
I think for me personally, I was actually going through a really rough patch in my life when I decided to actually go and serve the homeless. And when I went, it was like all my troubles were just gone. Like just going and serving and seeing the fact that there's always somebody else out there that's doing so much worse than you. And it made me feel alive. It made me feel great knowing that I'm actually doing something for our community and helping somebody just put a smile on their face. So I never stopped since, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing 3 years.
3 years you've been doing this. Wow, outstanding. So give me one of those moments that just changed your life.
When we partnered up with La Rosa, and we did the backpack drive, just seeing all those children smiling and the parents feeling relieved that we got backpacks for their kids and supplies for their kids, and seeing just the smiles. I mean, I have a child as well, so being a single mom as well, I know the struggles that a single mom can go through. So it was just amazing, and I just wanted to continue helping and continue working with as many serve team projects that we could possibly do.
And what about you? One of those moments that just impacted your life?
I think it's honestly being able to see how grateful the people that we get to serve are, and how much they appreciate it. A lot of times we think that people, especially the homeless, that they have some sort of attitude, that they feel entitled, but I just really like how they appreciate what we do and see the hope and the faith that they have, that their situation is it's just a transitioning situation, that is not a permanent situation. So just to see their happiness, I think it makes our cause worthwhile.
Awesome. And now I understand you're a, what's the term again?
High schooler?
No. Yes, you're a high schooler. Social leader, sorry. I was gonna say social worker. I know that's not right. So you're a social leader. What does that do? How does that work?
So we have 3 different social leaders, and it's myself, Kathy, and also a couple named Ryan and Keisha. And what we do is we do social events for all the volunteers. We organize them, and we also do events us as leaders, just to kind of have a break from just working and also just enjoying each other's company.
Okay, so as a high schooler, now I get that part right now. So as a high schooler, how does it feel to be so involved in interacting with the different people?
I think it's amazing, just because a lot of my friends kind of always wonder, like, oh, what are you doing Friday nights? And I'm like, come feed the homeless with me, or come wake up at 5 in the morning and hang out with some homeless people. And I personally find that rewarding, because as a high schooler, I have to also do community service to graduate. So I find it really easy. I build new friendships. So I think it's one of the best things I could do.
Okay, as far as you guys feed the homeless, how often do y'all do it? As far as where and how can other people get involved?
Okay, well, we feed the homeless once a month on the first Saturday of the month. We partnered with Loaves and Fishes Soup Kitchen on the corner of Congress and I think it's Cullen, I believe. I'm not sure. Excuse me. But we go first Saturday every month. We're there at 6 o'clock in the morning. We get there and we start cooking breakfast, and we go out. We have teams that go out to reach out to the people where they are. So we'll have people go out under the overpasses where some people sleep, and it's unfortunate that they sleep there. But it gives the volunteers an opportunity to kind of see for themselves what these individuals are going through, so that it's not just some external thing. It becomes more personal. So when you have someone who has never seen anything like that, and they go under an overpass and they see just the conditions they're living in, it really brings a sense of a strong desire to really reach out and help, and it makes it more personal that way. So we do that once a month. We also have on the second Thursdays of every month, we go to the Heights Food Pantry, and that's where we help to distribute food to the low-income families in that area. On the third Friday of every month, we go down to the corner of Jackson and Jefferson Street downtown, and we partner with the Sam Houston State University Bridge Ministry. And what they do is they bring clothes, and we also gather donations to hand out to homeless people there. We give out food, but we also give out clothes, blankets. We have blanket drives through the year to be able to provide to the homeless. And then we also have, we partner with the Spring Spirit Baseball League, and that allows us to be able to reach out to underprivileged kids, youth, be able to grab their attention, be able to bring positive influences into their life. Because you know how it is, if a child doesn't have those influences in their lives, they're liable to get caught up in the wrong thing. So it allows us to be able to do that. And we also serve in a nursing home. So we have a lot of opportunities throughout the month to be able to help people. And as JC said, we don't just focus on helping everybody that needs the help. We also focus on helping each other as well, because the love of Christ encompasses everyone. So we always have volunteers that come and they're going through things, and we try to speak into their lives and love on them. and really encourage them, because we're going through tough times economically. People are losing their jobs. People are struggling. And we don't want to just ignore each other because we're there volunteering. We want the volunteers to know that we're there for them as well. So,
Beautiful. So, what do you say to the what I call the standard media, right? There's what really happens, and then there's what's sold on standard media. For those people that are out there saying that those people are ungrateful or lazy or don't work, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The stuff that we hear constantly on some of these other news channels or some of these blogs that are constantly insulting those that are less fortunate. How do you personally respond to those comments, and what do you see out in the streets?
Well, to answer your first question, the way I would respond to that, and the way that we've responded to it, is to remind people that yes, there are a segment of society where people can say that they're lazy or whatever, but it's not our job to judge. It's our job to be, as Scripture said, the hands and feet of Christ, to go out and share His love. So we don't necessarily concern ourselves with the reasons why they're on the street. We also understand that a lot of people are homeless because of the economic conditions. People have lost their jobs. And when you lose your job, you lose your health care, and you lose all of the things that you need to be able to keep yourself going. And so we've actually met people who are on the street, families, who just don't have enough money to house themselves. And we've also met people who unfortunately they have mental illnesses. And when you're dealing with a mental illness, it's hard to be able to keep a clear focus on the things you're trying to do, and people just get lost in the shuffle. And we've also run into veterans who are living on the street, and of course there are people who are dealing with substance abuse issues. But again, it's not our place to judge. Christ loved us enough to die on the cross for us, and that was even in the midst of all of our sin. And so if He can do that for us, there's no reason why we can't love someone in spite of whatever the situation is.
Right. How about y'all?
To add on what Stacy just said, I also think I will make them an invitation to come and serve with us, to come and be able to hold a conversation with one of those people. I mean, the same way that there's good and bad throughout, the whole world, there's also, really good people that you're going to encounter. That you're going to get to hear stories that you will have never thought of why the reason that person is on the street. So I don't think it's fair that we get to group, all the homeless in a category of those people, because there's different reasons why they go through that. And I don't think you get to see or understand until you actually come and serve them and get to know some of the people that we get to serve.
One question is, I guess, it's how prevalent is how many people are out there that are in need? Because sometimes people think of. Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to interrupt the question, but we actually have a caller on the line that wants to join us. Okay. So, caller, you're live on the air. You want to introduce yourself? Caller, you there? There we go. Hi, caller, you're live on the air.
This is Ben Mendez.
Hey, Ben, what's going on?
I'm glad to see Mr. Alan Gallegos on the show. Finally, we get him on for all the great things that he's doing for the community.
Yes, he is.
Oh, come on, man. Where are you at?
Hey.
And the serve team.
That's right.
I've heard a lot about the serve team. I've been on the show with several people that have been part of the serve team, and I congratulate for everything that you all do in the community. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Jose, you look like you have a halo on.
I do, look.
Is that a halo?
I took my ears out too, look. All right, Ben. Thanks for calling in.
You'll have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
That's actually our co-host that got stuck in traffic, so.
All right.
So anyways, you were asking the question. Go ahead.
The question basically is, you were saying that you guys would go to, homeless shelters and underpasses, and the thing is, sometimes when we drive around, people tend to look away from them.
Right.
And so how, I guess in order to let people know, the gravity of the situation, how many people do y'all serve, let's say like underpasses or at the shelters?
Well, for the Loaves and Fishes outreach, we tend to serve upwards of 200 people every morning. We serve them breakfast, and when we also have the homeless outreach on the third Friday, we have a couple of hundred people who are coming there as well. But what we found is that even though we have the opportunity to serve that many people, there are a lot more that we could serve that they weren't able to come to where we are. Unfortunately, they don't have a way to get everywhere. And we try to reach the areas where there's a higher concentration of people living. But sometimes weather may prevent people from coming. And old age, statistics show that the people who tend to be long-time homeless are people who are older or have injury. And so it's more difficult for them to get around. So, but we also have unfortunately seen that the children are also involved. I've had a lot of families come, young kids, 2, 3, even infants, that have come out for help. But it's always a blessing, and we partner with the Star of Hope. They also have a women's and children's facility that we partner with, and we sometimes go and drop off donations there. And actually, myself and the other co-leader, Tabitha Gonzalez, we're actually going to go tomorrow and drop off some toys for those kids that we got from donations. And so it's a blessing, but overall in Houston, from the statistics that I've read, it's upwards of 7,000 people who are homeless on the streets of Houston.
Wow. So as a high school student, talk to some other high schoolers out there and tell them what they need to do.
I would definitely encourage them to come out. I think it's something that, not everybody can say, oh, I'm doing this or anything like that. And I think it just gives you a different perspective when most adults think like all high schoolers are selfish teenagers. And I feel like I'm dedicating my time somewhere that couldn't be traded for the world, that I have this instilled in me, and that you can see that, just because you don't get your favorite Christmas present that you wanted, that other people would be happy with what you have right now. So it really gives me a sense of gratitude towards my family, what I have, and I'm really thankful that God has blessed me with everything that I do have.
And so who dragged you into this fun stuff?
No, actually no one did. When I was 15.
So long ago. So long ago. Oh my goodness.
As a Hispanic, we always have a quinceañera and everything. And my mom gave me the choice. You can have a quinceañera or you can have a cruise. So which one do you want? And I really prayed about it, and I wanted a party, but God placed in my heart to give my birthday away. So I did Loaves and Fishes, and that's how it all started.
Wow. Mom?
I promise I didn't make her choose. But I was actually very impressed. I actually went more than twice before she actually reached out to the surf team. She did contact a couple of other organizations, and I kept saying, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? Because, a 15 is just once in a lifetime kind of deal. And, and she had been preparing for a 15 for like the last 3 years. And she had a dress and she had a theme and everything. And all of a sudden she's like, no, I really want to go and surf. So we reached out to the, 3 organizations, but she decided for the surf team. And actually I can say she dragged me into it, because then I had to go with her and surf. And that's how I started surfing. I hadn't surfed with them. Although I have heard about them, I started surfing because of her, because she got involved.
That's a beautiful story. Oh, wow. That's a great Christmas gift right there. And if you're out there watching right now, that story, that true story, should hopefully get you off that couch and doing something about it, right? Get involved in your community. We actually have about 5 minutes left, and I'm going to ask our guest starting on this side to kind of give some closing remarks and tell the viewers out there what they need to do to get out of that rut that they might be in. Let's start with you.
Okay, I actually invite them. They could check out more information about the surf team at the429surfteam.org. They can find out all the different outreaches that we have, and I think it's a great opportunity to get involved and also to make a difference. Sometimes when you get the focus out of yourself and you focus on serving others, you realize how blessed and really how much more you have than what you realized.
I would just say, just come out. Don't let whatever is going on in your life stop you from coming out. Come out and serve. I promise it will change your life for a lifetime, whether with the serve team or with other organizations. Definitely just go out and serve, and I'm telling you, it's going to change your life.
As far as let me, I guess, well, quote unquote, stand on this bully pulpit, but you know what? Anybody can do anything. Look, I'm in a wheelchair, so I'm just gonna pull that card on everybody. If I'm in a wheelchair, I can't do anything, and I'm helping to serve, you guys honestly don't have an excuse. It's, there are too many people out there that have a need, and so we need to help, help our fellow man. We are here to serve our fellow man, and we just gotta do that.
All right. Well, I would just encourage everybody to just come out and think about the fact that if Christ could love us enough to be able to give his life for us, even though we don't deserve it, even though he could probably look at us and say that we're lazy or we're irresponsible, or all kinds of things that we tend to throw on people or we label people with. Jesus' love was so great for us that he gave to us in spite of that. So no, not to berate anybody with religion, but the other thing I'd like to say is that when you serve someone else, when you have that opportunity, you're more blessed than the people that you bless. So we would encourage you to come out.
I would definitely encourage you to come out just to meet new people, to build new friendships, and just spend time somewhere where it's valuable.
That's very, very good advice from the people out in the community. Folks, in this season of giving, these people are out there making a difference in the Houston area. You know what? And a lot of people say you need to give. You need to give until it hurts. Do you really need to give until it hurts? What you need to do is give it till it feels good, right here in your heart. So with that, folks, go out there and make a difference in your community. Go out there and feed the homeless, help a child, help a mom, help somebody. Because when you think about it, why are we on this earth? Are we here just to make money, to make as much wealth as we can, or are we here to serve our fellow man? So please have a Merry Christmas and go out there and help somebody else. Help somebody who really needs it. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everyone! Merry Christmas! That's it? They did.